the diversification.
Diversification.
For diversification.
Diversification.
We like to put a lot of money in things that we feel strongly about.
Of diversification. Diversify, diversify, diversify.
We think diversification is, as practiced generally, makes very little sense for anyone that knows what they're doing.
According to Google, diversification is a risk management strategy of spreading investments or activities across various assets, markets, or products to avoid over-reliance on a single source, much like not putting all your eggs in one basket. Oops. The most common narrative in stock market investing is to spread your money across many different sectors and companies in order to reduce risks. Because even if a few don't work out, the other companies in your portfolio will make up for it. And this has been thought all throughout history, with mentions of it in the Bible. And since, many notable investors have preached the art of diversification, with Harry Markowitz, a Nobel Prize-winning economist, calling it the only true free lunch in investing. The S&P 500 is a collection of the 500 largest companies in America, making it hella diversified, and has performed significantly well, but only 4% of the stocks in this index are responsible for all the gain. This clearly defines the problem with diversification. Most companies are bad, but the good ones make up for it, so what if you could only buy the good ones? If only 20 out of the 500 stocks were good investments, rather than diversifying and buying all of them, why not focus on trying to identify the good ones? That's what Warren Buffett is known for. He has an incredible track record of being able to find these exceptional companies and making a lot of turtles doing so. Diversification is only safer than concentration if you don't know what you are doing, which goes against the most common narrative that diversification is essential, which I think everyone has heard. When being asked what he thinks of diversification, Warren Buffett said this.
It's conventional practice, and it may, if all you have to achieve is average, it may preserve your job, but it's a confession in our view that you don't really understand the businesses that you own. On a personal portfolio basis, I own one stock, but it's a business I know, and it leaves me very comfortable. Do I need to own 28 stocks in order to, have proper diversification, be nonsense. And within Berkshire, I could pick out 3 of our businesses, and I would be very happy if they were the only businesses we owned and I had all my money in Berkshire. Now, I love it, the fact that we can find more than that and that we keep adding to it.
3 good businesses is all you need.
3 wonderful businesses is more than you need in this life to do very well.
If you were to buy many random stocks, your returns would be low in the best case scenario and lose a low amount in the worst case. If you were to randomly buy a few stocks, you will either get a very high return in the best case and very bad returns in the worst case. But if you own a few very good companies, then the best case scenario will yield very high returns, and the worst case will still yield market-beating results. If you choose the stocks randomly, diversifying is much better. But if you buy good companies, diversification has no use, as it would include many bad stocks. This is why Warren Buffett does not like diversification, and why diversification is just protection against your own ignorance. If you have high conviction in a business, and you know the business really well, there is no reason why you should not commit a large part of your portfolio into it. If you had a time machine and you knew a stock would perform well, you would put all your money into it. It's the same premise if you have high conviction, put a lot of money into that.
I don't think you should be doing too much gambling tonight, Alan. Gambling? Who said anything about gambling? It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.
But what are good stocks? This is not a video on how to identify winning stocks, but I will post a video with that in the future, so subscribe and like while you're at it to get good stock returns. But these are some key characteristics of the 4% of stocks that are responsible for the market's returns. Low debt. Having a lot of debt, especially high-interest debt, does not only threaten insolvency, but also the interest eats into the free cash flow and is just a constant cost for the business. high return on capital employed. Businesses that are able to use their money effectively, and getting a high return on the money used by the business is essential to be one of the 4%. Exceptional CEO. Pretty self-explanatory, but a good CEO can make a bad business good, and a bad CEO can make a good business bad. CEO quality is essential and probably the most important factor, as it has to do with the rest of the points on the list. Strong moat. Having a strong competitive advantage and being as close to a monopoly as possible. Being so far ahead of other businesses that you practically have no competition. Operating leverage. Being able to scale with earnings increasing faster than costs. Another reason not to diversify is that you can only know so many businesses well, and the more you own, the less you know about each. So by focusing on 3 key holdings, you can know every detail about them, and you never have to worry about risk, as you would not own them if you were worried, because you need to know what you own. Peter Lynch is known for saying, most people spend more time choosing their car or their microwave oven than they do choosing their stocks. The stock market is mostly efficient, meaning that everything is already priced in. So to be able to compete, you need to have an edge, and if you know 3 companies super well, you have an edge over 99% of investors, as they need to keep track of way more. But if diversification is so bad, then why is it the most common investing lesson taught? It goes back to this guy, Harry Markowitz, who created modern portfolio theory that was supposed to be revolutionary, but
what he's
according to
saying is
Charlie
that
Munger,
much of what is taught in modern corporate finance courses is twaddle.
Do you want to elaborate on that, Charlie?
modern portfolio theory is just Markowitz's Nobel Prize-winning ideas that consists of risk versus return, diversification, mean variance optimization, whatever that means, the efficient frontier, and capital allocation line, which is good for being average and, according to Buffett and Munger, a bunch of fucking shit.
You cannot believe this stuff. I mean, it's modern portfolio theory, and
it has no utility. I mean, it will tell you how to do average, but I think anybody can figure out how to do average in 5th grade. I mean, it's just not that difficult, and it's elaborate, and there's lots of little Greek letters and all kinds of things to make you feel that you're in the big leagues, but there is no value added.
The reason is that for most investors, it makes more sense buying an index, as the human is a primitive species guided by emotion, and being financially responsible is too much of a hassle. The only problem with concentrated portfolios is that you might pick bad stocks, in which case,
Diversify, diversify, diversify.